Pedro from A&P-Reacts. I'm here today with Alessia, Michele, and Marco of Temperance to talk about the latest record, Diamanti. I love the name of the album, and I love the fact that you guys incorporated some of that Italian flavor onto this record. How you guys doing?
Great. But hopefully you like the title of the album and also the album, or not?
Yes, of course. So I like the album. Of course. But I like the fact that you guys brought a little bit of your culture into this record, have some Italian on the album, going with Diamanti. I really like this touch that this record brought. And I have to start off by asking you this, considering how successful the previous album was, Viridian, was there extra stress on your shoulders to put together a record that surpasses what that album did?
No, not at all.
We always surpass ourselves. I'm just joking. We enjoy writing music. We enjoy what we do, so we don't really care about, you know, comparisons between previous records or whatever we will do next. It's just fun for us, and this is our attitude in everything we do. And as long as it works, it's perfect as it is, right?
Yeah, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Of course. Exactly.
Are you guys having some espresso?
No, it's
some amaretto.
Amaretto.
Do you know amaretto?
No, I don't.
The digestive alcohol after dinner.
Oh,
like
okay,
limoncello,
okay.
like that.
But very sweet.
Yeah, not so sweet. Yeah, it could be.
Well, it's almond based.
Yeah.
So it's definitely sweet.
Is that a good move before a show? Because you guys are outside the venue. You're going to be playing a show tonight. Is that a smart move?
Well, a smart move. No, it's just that it's cold outside and we need to warm up.
So going back into this record, I mean, you guys now have, I feel like you guys have, maybe I'm wrong, that you guys have a creative process that you take on every album. You guys have a way of coming together and creating records. Is that process becoming a lot easier and a lot better defined with each passing record?
Mark? So it was totally different than the other albums we did before, but just because I think we had more time to invest about the arrangements, about the songwriting in general, of course, because 90% of the album was brought during the first lockdown in March and April 2020. So the only good thing about COVID, I think, is that we spent a lot of time just to create the lyrics, the orchestral arrangements, and some stuff like that. And I think the mood in some songs is a little bit different. Different feelings, not of course, not only sad feelings, but different. Of course, we have the typical trademarks of Temperance, the good melodies, good. I hope they are good. The melodies, the chorus, the harmonies between all voices. It's a little bit different than Viridian because we put more stuff there in Diamanti. I mean, something more and different. But for us, every album is a different story and is a different path to cross.
Yeah. Actually, to answer your question more directly, I think that, of course, we get to know each other better and better the more we are together. You see what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, musically, voice-wise, on every aspect, we kind of get to know each other better.
Yeah.
So we try to stimulate some aspects in each other performances, especially in the studio. So on that level, yes, maybe we feel more
Comfortable?
Yeah, comfortable with our skills, even during starting from the songwriting process. That's for sure.
Yes. Yeah.
Like for instance, in this record, you have 3 songs: "Idle Loneliness," which Marcus sings, "Let's Get Started," which Alessia sings, and "Fairy Tales from the Stars," where I sing, that were written specifically for my voice, Alessia's voice, and Marcus' voice. And this is something we could achieve because we got to know each other better. So, of course, on a certain level, maybe we could say that it's easier, but it's not about being easier. It's about know each other.
Yes.
That's the thing.
And also because in my opinion, year after year and album after album, we are improve our vocal skills. So we are earning new skills, new vocal skills, new musical skills, and we are trying to put these skills in music.
So going piggyback on what you guys are saying in terms of the changes that happened on this record, the slight changes that happen here, how much of these changes do you see progressing into future albums? Is there something that the light bulb went on this record and you're like, okay, you know, we've never done this before, we did it on this album, it's really cool, let's build up on that specific element and start to move forward for the next record? Is there anything that you can think of like that on this record?
For sure. For example, about Diamanti, the title track, I think is a little bit different than the stuff we did before, just because it is a little bit more pop oriented, and the chorus, of course, in Italian. And I'm pretty sure in the next album we'll put more stuff in Italian, for sure.
The entire record,
not entire record, not entire record, but of course some songs.
Did you listen to the Spanish version?
I was gonna bring this because I was expecting a Portuguese version on the record. Now, if you guys cannot sing in Portuguese, you could have called me. Not that I could sing, but at least I could throw some words at you guys. So the fact that you included almost every language but Portuguese, I shed a little bit of a tear at the end of the album.
So listen, go for it.
The thing is, of course, I don't know, for example, the people from Netherlands ask us the same thing. You have to do the Dutch version, okay? Some people from Russia, you have to do the Russian. Okay, man. So probably the next album, it will be only bonus tracks with one single song in every language.
Every language. Yeah.
Maybe that's a good idea for an EP, but I really enjoyed the fact that you guys do bring a lot of different aspects of the European culture in general, and not just Italian, but other languages as well. And I think you guys do a wonderful job bringing those songs to life and not completely fumbling the pronunciation of the words. So congratulations to you guys on that. You do better than me.
It was hard. Yeah, it was hard, but very funny for every one of us. And I think every one of us had some problems with different languages. Maybe, for example, for me, it was not so easy to sing in Spanish, even if I know it's really similar to Italian, but it was, for me, it was like a mocking. I don't know why, but my voice sounded like mocking. And for Marco,
for me, it was the German, for sure. For you, I think
the French. I had it was such a pain, man. You have no clue, especially because Alessia speaks French quite well. I have to admit. Yeah, she always says no, I don't. Then you hear her talk with French people, and she's super good and talented in French.
English,
I think so, for instance. And she was super picky. So as long as my pronunciation was not perfect, she was like, yeah, but you can do better. Maybe it can be like this. So it was a pain, man, a pain.
But a good thing.
I believe in him.
We are 3 singers, so if we will go in France, for sure, Alessia will sing the chorus.
Yes.
If we will go in Spain or South America, I will sing the chorus. If we will go in Austria and
German is mine. Yeah.
So
you guys cover it all. Now, how do you did it? Do you guys do like take by take to make sure that the pronunciation was right? How did you approach that process when you're singing in different languages?
So
we asked some friend of us to help us.
Some native language.
Yeah. Like, for instance, the German version, the meaning of the chorus is not exactly the same compared to the Italian one, because the German guy who helped us with the translation told us that
it's impossible.
It was not nice to have it literally translated, and it would have lost fashion. Same thing for the French version. Some words have been...
The French, 90% is the same. The Spanish is the same. And of course, the English is totally different.
The English version is different.
I don't know why, honestly.
Yeah, because
it just sounded better in another version.
I tried to translate it in a different way, because maybe it's the same problem for German too, because English and German are completely different from Italian, and you can translate it literally for entire. Yeah, so that's why I decided to give a different interpretation, but at the same time, it's not so in the opposite. No, the meaning.
And when it comes to the recording, of course, we try to go with the longest take possible. But at a certain point, we were focusing on certain words. And of course, we combined the takes because otherwise it would have been impossible. It would have needed months of work to learn the language otherwise. We kind of created a final version, taking that best pronounced word from one take combined with the other one. But this is something that you always do in the records, to reach.
And this is the opposite that we do for English, because I know our English is not perfect at all, but is of course
I think it's
better.
pretty good. I think you short-selling yourself here.
Well,
your English is better than my Italian.
No, I know.
Your English is better than my
I don't know.
We never heard you speaking Italian, man.
Bibubri che cosa? Bibubri.
Okay, your Italian is better than our English. But the point is about the English, we try to record, I don't know, in the same take, the entire vocal parts. It's not easy at all, but it's a sort of mantra for us.
Yeah, we try to. The less takes we have, the better it is.
Of course.
Combined all together.
You guys talked earlier about this album having a lot of diversity, having a lot of things that you felt like was new for the band. Were they really new for the band, or they were there before, but not just as visible as they are on this record?
Well, so there are, I would say that we kind of extremized some aspects that we might have introduced before. Because for instance, Litany, we never went that folk before.
Yeah, maybe.
But we approached the folk elements with unspoken words, with Nanook, of course, but we never went so much into folk. Same thing goes with Let's Get Started, for instance, because we approached hard rock in the previous record with Start Another Round, but we never went that hard rock as we did with Let's Get Started. Let's Get Started. I'm confusing the titles now. You see, I've seen an interview to Devin Townsend, in which the interviewer was asking him, "You have written so many songs. Do you actually remember them all?" And actually, it was edgy. He did remember some, and now after 6 albums, it's becoming the same for us. No, and again, we never went that symphonic as we did with The Night Before the End, for instance. We never went that musical as we did with Follow Me. So we kind of extremized things with this new record. We did stuff before that can be associated to what we did in Diamanti, but never in such an intense way.
I 100% agree with you, and that was the first take that I took listening to the album, is that none of these things were new to me as far as the band goes. It's just that on this album, you guys kind of turned it to 11 versus the way it was in previous albums. And you mentioned the orchestrations. I felt like the way you guys used the orchestrations on this album was really interesting because it didn't suffocate the sound. They were there, but they were not it. It's not like the whole album is driven by all of this symphony and all these symphonic elements. How important was that, and how do you find that balance to have them in part of the sound but not completely cover the sound and everything else?
But just because it depends by the song. Maybe a song need a lot of orchestration, a lot of different layers. We say layers, but for other song, we don't need to put a lot of elements there. So, for example, in Pure Life Unfolds, also in Black Is My Heart. Black Is My Heart is a typical modern song, in my opinion, a little bit like Battle Beast, okay? But we decided to put some orchestration on the way to, of course, Epica and Nitrous and stuff like that. And in my opinion, the combination is very good because you can hear the typical Temperance chorus, Black Is My Heart, with all voices, but also with orchestration and modern elements. Not so modern because we decide to delete the electronic elements. Delete. Oh, sorry. Okay, You forgot English. I forgot my English. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, to delete the electronic elements. But yes, depends by the song. Every song has a different story, in my
We
opinion.
made an exception only for Codebreaker.
Yes.
Yeah, Codebreaker is really techno pop. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very bouncy.
Bouncy, yes.
Yeah,
Techno
exactly.
pop.
And also is the nerdy song
Nerd
for
song,
this
yeah.
for this album. Do you are you able to guess which influences we made into that song
Which reference?
reference?
Mhm.
Yeah, sorry.
Which one?
Because-
Codebreaker?
Codebreaker. The lyrics are inspired from some nerdy stuff.
It's a very famous movie from the early
At the end of the night.
End of the 90s.
End of the 90s Codebreaker. Wow, you guys throwing a wrench in here. Can
Because
you
in the previous album, we had Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
That was an easy guess because it's inspired from
Yeah.
Mission Impossible. In Limitless, there was
From Breaking Bad.
Breaking
Mr.
Bad, yeah,
White.
Mr. White.
White, it was easy too. This one and this one is really
Codebreaker is another movie-inspired song.
You had to choose between the red one and the blue one.
the red one and the blue one? I'm
Whoa,
completely.
whoa.
I'm
I-
right? Blue
Yes.
or red? Okay.
The red pill or the blue pill, man?
I know, but I'm drawing a complete blank here.
It's
I-
the Matrix. The Matrix.
All right,
Yeah.
all right. Codebreaker Matrix. That makes sense. The numbers coming down. All right. All right, I
Yes.
get it now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I haven't. You know how long it's been since I've seen The Matrix? Like I
1998.
It's been a long time. Like I haven't seen The Matrix like in 20 years. I think I haven't seen any of the Matrix movies. Maybe now it's a reason to go back and play some of those movies. So is this something that you guys like to do, to bring like inspiration from a movie into a track and give it like a
Yeah.
little bit of an Easter egg on each album?
It's not an Easter egg. It's just nerd stuff.
Yeah.
I sounded like Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory now.
a little bit. There was a little bit of that in there. I have to ask you guys about Diamanti. We talked a little bit about it already, but I really love the sound on that song. But most of it, I love the Italian in that chorus. It just really pops. It makes the song have so much life, so much energy. Was that your idea from the beginning, that okay, this track has to have some Italian in the chorus, or as you guys were building the song, it kind of became apparent that you had to do it in order for the track to feel complete?
Marco, what happened?
Not at all, because I don't know if you know this, but the original title of the song, it was Surrender.
Oy.
Because back then I wrote the song and some lyric in the chorus about the period of time, because I wrote the song during the pandemic, during the first lockdown. So it was surrender. We should not surrender, something like that. No?
Oh,
But after a while, I talked with a friend of mine, a biologist, and she told me a very cool story about Jupiter, because of course we did an album of Jupiter and moons, and the thing that on Jupiter there is a sort of rain with diamonds.
For
So,
real. Like
for real,
it
yes,
physically
of course.
rained diamonds on Jupiter.
Wow.
I mean, not the jewel, not the
yeah.
of course.
Rough diamonds.
Yes,
Rough
diamond, of course. And after that, I said, okay, maybe we can try to add this stuff in this song, in this chorus, but in Italian, because the Diamanti's word sounds
Sounds
good.
nice, a musical.
And also for the people outside of Italy. So I tried, and I think
It
it
works.
works.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it has a nice sound to it. It's easy to pronounce even for those that are not Italian speaking, and it has
This is the reason.
and it has a nice melody to it. It kind of has a nice ring to it. You know, it sounds like something out of Laura Pausini.
Oh,
Okay, I don't know if it's a compliment or not.
it is.
It was a compliment. It was a compliment. It was meant as, it was totally meant as a compliment.
Laura Pausini and Eros Ramazzotti, I think they are the most listened Italian
After Temperance.
acts outside of Italy, if
Yeah.
I'm right.
After Temperance now.
Hopefully. I think
Yes.
after Maneskin, actually.
I think the next time that they have The Voice in Italy, they have to have you guys as the judges on The Voice.
Oh, thank you.
Wow.
Could be great, but in the same
chair. All three of you on the same chair, all like next to each other on the same chair, you know?
And fight for the best vocals in the program.
I think it would be amazing if they did that. When it comes to the lyrics, I have just a couple more questions for you. When it comes to the lyrics, do you guys work specifically for the lyrics for the album, Or do you have a little bit of a black book that you write some lyrics every so often, and then when it's time to create an album, you kind of go back to see what's there and see what fits?
Well, well, from my point of view, I prefer to make my lyrics during the process of composition. So yeah, I don't write every day something, and one day I come back to that book and I say, okay, this could be a new lyrics. No, usually I do it during the process. I don't know for the guys, but
well, let's say at first that we split the work of writing lyrics between the three of us. So each one of us has a different method, and that's I mean, it's of course this way, because you can have the same way of working when it comes to, you know, expressing concepts, feelings, emotion, putting yourself on the plate. Because I mean, writing the lyrics for a song means somehow taking a part of yourself and making it public, or putting it into the words that you are going to use for the song. So I don't speak for Marco, of course. Alessia said her idea. When it comes to me, I need to feel transported by the song into a specific world. So it's really important for me to hear the music before writing the lyrics, because a certain kind of music might inspire me to some specific lyrics, or for instance, to some emotions. And from that, I start writing lyrics. So I could never write a song before hearing the music, because I think it wouldn't match. It wouldn't work. But for instance, the opposite happened for one track of Diamanti, because Fairy Tales for the Stars, Marco got inspired by this idea that I had during a car travel, and he decided to write a song focusing on the concept. So
On the title.
On the title. So there is still a connection between the lyrics and the song itself, but for the first time, it didn't come from the music. It came from the concept, the title.
That's
Yeah.
because after Michele told me about this working title, Fairy Tales for the Stars, I began to sing in my head, Fairy Tales for the Stars, and I wrote the entire song. So
Yeah. So there is no rule, basically. The answer is there is no rule.
because we are breaking the rules, we are breaking the rules.
You guys are breaking the law. One last question for you guys. You're one of those European bands or worldwide bands that has this incredible ability to have three phenomenal singers. You know, bands like Amaranth, you guys always come to mind when you're talking about in bands that have so much power, but at the same time have three incredible lead singers. What's the option here for you guys to add a fourth lead singer, which would be me, and have us overtake the world in being the first band with four incredible lead singers?
well, first give us your translation in Portuguese for Diamante.
Yes.
And maybe we'll try to
We can find a
Join.
deal. We can find a deal.
But-
join with you, our forces.
I will tell you that there is another band with more singers. It's called Van Canto, and I think they have 7 singers. We have to put other 4 guys. So
Also,
you
Kiss, I
probably
think they're all four in the Kiss.
a Kiss.
Kiss, all 4 singers and musicians sing together.
Yeah. But actually, it's true. They're not lead singers.
No.
Yeah,
They're not lead singers. So we totally need a 4th lead singer to be even more unique. So yeah, you're welcome. The next
Well, if
record,
there's
you
one
will
thing
be
I
a
can
part-
tell you about my vocal prowess is that I am unique.
Fantastic.
I don't know if that's a good thing, but
Bald guy, a second bald guy.
Ah,
in
yes.
the band.
that is
Bold or
true.
bald?
Yeah, that is true. I feel like that you guys need to kind of even things out. I mean, both of you have great hair, so me and Marco can also facial hair we have, and then we have great ball heads.
Deal.
Fantastic.
It's a deal.
It's a deal.
It's a deal.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
deal.
And it will be also the next cover artwork for the next album, only with you and me.
Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah,
With
we
the
could call it.
reflection
Hey, we could call it Jupiter's moons, and then have our heads in there.
Yes, that's
of Jupiter and moons.
Yes, there you go. There you go. We're brainstorming together here. We're having great ideas for the next record already.
it's
Let's do it.
fantastic.
Maybe in your heads,
Well,
will
guys-
shine like diamonds.
Well, that too. We can put some oil on our heads, and then they will shine like diamonds.
Amazing.
Okay, I think it's too much right now.
Okay, maybe that's a little bit too much. All right, guys, thank you very much for your time today. I really appreciate it. It's always so much fun chatting with you guys. I love you all. Best of luck with the show tonight. Have fun out there. And you know, I was going to wish you guys luck. I don't think you need luck with the album because this is an incredible record. You guys are always super consistent with the quality of the albums you release.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
All the best, and
Hopefully-
hopefully I'll get to see you guys at some point soon.
Hopefully,
Would be
sooner or
great.
later we'll
That's the
come
plan.
over there.
That's the plan.
That's the plan,
Yeah.
definitely.
And then we can sing together. It's going to be beautiful.
Yes, of course. Start to write the lyrics, please, in Portuguese.
Yeah, yeah.
It's your time.
Well, we have time. Yes, I will. All right, guys, take care. All the best.
Take care.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Bye.
Ciao, Pedro.